The heart of Texas, rolling plains, wide open skies, Kaufman, population small, secrets big. This is a place where everybody knows your name, they know your family, your history, your sins. In Kaufman, whispers travel faster than the wind. And in 2013 the whispers were about revenge. Cold, calculated, and aimed right at the heart of the judicial system. Details are scarce, intentionally buried, some say, but the story remains. An individual, driven to the brink, decided enough was enough. The courts had failed them. The system had failed them. What happened next sent shockwaves through the community. An act of defiance, an act of desperation, an act of revenge. The year 2013 became a scar on Kaufman's history, a reminder that even in the quietest corners, darkness can fester. Revenge. A dish best served cold, they say. But what drives a person to such extremes? Betrayal, anger, a thirst for justice that the law can't quench. These emotions fester, growing into something monstrous. In Kaufman, that monster broke free. It shattered the peace, leaving behind questions that still haunt the community. Was it justified? Was it madness? Or was it the inevitable outcome of a system pushed to its breaking point? Kaufman's story isn't unique. History is filled with tales of those who took justice into their own hands. Die, my love. The chilling story of two sisters in Texas, bound by blood and driven by revenge. Their story, a cautionary tale of how grief can warp even the strongest bonds. Andre Thomas. A man failed by the system, his mental illness ignored. His case, a stark reminder that justice isn't always blind, sometimes it's simply blindfolded. These cases, though different in detail, share a common thread: the desperate need to right a perceived wrong. Section 5. Die, my love, when sisters strike back. Texas, a breeding ground for legends and outlaws. The vast, rugged landscape has always been a place where the lines between right and wrong blur, where the law is often just a suggestion, and where the spirit of rebellion runs deep. It's a land of stark contrasts, where the beauty of the sunset can be as intense as the heat of a midday shootout. It's also where two sisters, Terry and Carol, decided to take fate into their own hands. Growing up in a small, tight-knit community, they were inseparable, their bond forged in the fires of shared hardships and dreams. They were more than just sisters, they were each other's confidants, protectors, and partners in crime. Their story, chronicled in Die, My Love, is a study in contrasts. The book delves deep into their lives, painting a vivid picture of their journey from innocence to infamy. It's a tale that explores the complexities of sisterhood, loyalty, and the lengths to which people will go when pushed to the brink. Terry, bold, brash, a force of nature. She was the kind of person who could light up a room with her presence, her energy infectious, and her determination unyielding. She was the spark that ignited their rebellion, the driving force behind their quest for justice. Carol, quiet, contemplative, harboring a hidden steel. She was the thinker, the planner, the one who could see the bigger picture and navigate the complexities of their situation. Her calm exterior belied a fierce inner strength, a resolve that was as unbreakable as it was silent. When tragedy struck, their bond deepened into something lethal. The loss they experienced was a catalyst, transforming their grief into a burning desire for retribution. They became each other's anchor, their shared pain forging a path that would lead them down a dark and dangerous road. They sought their own brand of justice, leaving a trail of heartbreak and destruction. Their actions were a testament to the power of love and the depths of despair, a reminder that sometimes the quest for vengeance can consume everything in its path. Their story, a stark reminder that love and hate are two sides of the same coin. The intensity of their emotions drove them to the edge, blurring the lines between right and wrong, justice and revenge. It's a narrative that challenges our understanding of morality and the human condition, and sometimes the line between them is razor thin. In the end, Terry and Carol's tale is a haunting exploration of the duality of human nature, a story that lingers long after the final page is turned, leaving us to ponder the true cost of love and the price of vengeance. Section 6. The System on Trial, Mental Illness and Justice. The Halls of Justice, where the fate of many is decided. Meant to be impartial, a place of reason and fairness, a sanctuary where truth prevails and justice is served. But what happens when reason is clouded by illness? When the mind is a battlefield and clarity is a distant dream? Andre Thomas's case is a tragic example. A man whose life was overshadowed by schizophrenia, a severe mental illness that distorts reality. Schizophrenia cast a long shadow over his life, leading him down a dark path, a path filled with confusion, fear, and ultimately tragedy. Was he capable of understanding his actions? Was justice served? Or was he a victim of a system that failed to recognize his illness? Or was it a system ill-equipped to handle the complexities of mental illness? His story isn't unique. Many others face similar fates. Countless others languish in prisons, their cries for help drowned out by the clang of cell doors. They are lost in a system that often sees them as criminals rather than patients in need of care. The justice system, designed to protect and serve, sometimes becomes a place of despair for those with mental illness. Their voices are silenced, their struggles ignored. It's a call for change, a plea for a system that understands and addresses the needs of the mentally ill. Section 7 Gender's gavel, bias in the balance, the scales of justice. They should be balanced, fair. But what if those scales are tipped by prejudice? Gender bias in the courtroom is a harsh reality. Women, often painted as hysterical or vengeful, face an uphill battle. Family courts become battlegrounds, with children caught in the crossfire. The scorned woman trope, a dangerous stereotype that can sway judges and juries. Justice should be blind to gender. Until then, countless lives will be shattered by a system that favors one over the other. Section 8 Humanity on the docket. Emotions and consequences. Behind every case, every headline, there are people. Lives shattered, families torn apart. In Kaufman, the 2013 incident left a community reeling. Whispers turned to accusations, friendships fractured under the strain, the person who sought revenge, the people they targeted, the families caught in the crossfire, all forever marked by the events of that year. Justice, it seems, is a double-edged sword. It can bring closure, but it can also leave behind a trail of collateral damage. Section 9. The price of vengeance. Scars on a community. The dust has settled in Kaufman, but the scars remain. This small Texas town, once a quiet and close-knit community, now bears the weight of a tragedy that shook its very foundation. The events of 2013 left an indelible mark, a constant reminder of the fragility of peace and the ever-present shadow of violence. The 2013 incident, a stark reminder of the human capacity for both love and vengeance, brought the community together in mourning and reflection. It was a time when neighbors leaned on each other for support, finding solace in shared grief. Yet it also exposed deep-seated fears and prejudices, forcing everyone to confront uncomfortable truths. It forced the community to confront uncomfortable truths about their justice system, their prejudices, and themselves. Town hall meetings became battlegrounds of ideas and emotions as residents grappled with questions of justice, fairness, and the role of law enforcement. The courthouse, once a symbol of order, now stood as a reminder of the complexities and imperfections of the legal system. The questions linger. Can true justice ever be achieved? Is it possible to find a balance between retribution and forgiveness? These are not just legal questions, but moral and philosophical ones that have haunted humanity for centuries. The scales of justice, often depicted as balanced, seem perpetually tipped by the weight of human emotion and bias. Or are we destined to repeat these cycles of hurt and retribution? History is replete with examples of communities torn apart by violence, only to rebuild and face similar challenges again. The changing seasons, a metaphor for the passage of time, remind us that while the world moves forward, the echoes of the past remain. In the heart of Texas, under the wide-open sky, Kaufman continues to search for answers. The town's resilience is evident in its efforts to heal and rebuild. Community events, once simple gatherings, now carry a deeper significance as residents come together to forge a path forward. The sunrise over the Texas landscape symbolizes hope and the promise of a new day. The whispers haven't faded, they've simply changed direction. Conversations that once centered on fear and suspicion now focus on healing and understanding. In diners, on street corners, and in community centers, people discuss ways to prevent another tragedy, to build a stronger, more united Kaufman. Now they speak of healing, of understanding, of preventing another tragedy from unfolding. Support groups have formed, offering a safe space for those affected to share their stories and find comfort. Community projects like planting trees and rebuilding efforts symbolize growth and renewal, a testament to the town's determination to rise above its past. But the road to redemption is long, and the echoes of 2013 still reverberate. The journey towards healing is ongoing, marked by both progress and setbacks. Memorial sites serve as poignant reminders of the lives lost and the lessons learned. As Kaufman looks to the future, it carries with it the weight of its history, striving to build a legacy of resilience and hope.